Thank you for joining us at Eating Required. Everyone needs to eat, and sometimes we need some inspiration. And sometimes we have ingredients we need to use up from the pantry. I had an enormous bottle of applesauce, some large bags of dried fruit, and a couple of open oatmeal containers that I wanted to use up, which is why I went looking for a good baked oatmeal recipe recently. For me, baked oatmeal is a winner if it goes together quickly and is made from ingredients I usually have on hand. The added bonus is that this bake doesn't have a lot of sugar in it, but it feels like you're eating a dessert rather than a healthy breakfast. The recipe I'm making can be found below the video. It's based on one I found online and changed up to suit our tastes and my impatient cooking style. Before I modify an existing recipe, I tend to try it as written first because it may be fabulous as it is. But in this case, I doubled the cinnamon and the fruit from the original recipe. The original recipe also instructed you to put together the ingredients and let it sit overnight in the fridge and bake it the next day. But because I tend to not plan ahead, this original recipe didn't get made for over a week after I found it. Finally, I just decided to try it without the overnight wait, and it turned out fine. But if you want to prep it the night before, the recipe should still work out that way. Let me know in the comments if you do this and how it comes out. Also, this recipe is flexible. Instead of the original specified raisins, I have used craisins by themselves and mixed in with chopped candied ginger, which is awesome, by the way. I also have a bag of dates, which will be making an appearance in the bake next week. The original recipe also called for maple syrup to be added, but I found it didn't add much flavor to the final product, so I just substituted more applesauce. I also have added nutmeg on occasion, which is very nice. This would probably also be yummy with some vanilla or pumpkin pie spice. The other thing I changed from the original recipe was the way it was assembled. It called for a wet ingredient bowl and a dry ingredient bowl. I didn't think it would make a difference and combined the two. And yes, the end product is still delicious. I have reordered the ingredient list to reflect this one bowl method. You need to start off this recipe with a reasonably large bowl. It has to hold 6 cups of ingredients, and you need to be able to stir it too, so plan accordingly. This bowl is one of our recent kitchen purchases. These are by OXO and come in different sizes. I like the handle and pour spout on the rim of the bowl, but I really like the rubber bottom that keeps the bowl from dancing around on my counter when I'm stirring vigorously. I will try to put a link to these in the comment box below. We start off with 2 eggs and then add brown sugar, then applesauce, and then milk. If you wanted to add the maple syrup in the recipe or some vanilla, this would be a good time to do so. Then stir these ingredients together, making sure you're breaking up the egg yolks. Then we start adding the dry ingredients. In goes the oatmeal, then baking powder, salt, and cinnamon, and then the fruit. Here I'm adding a mix of craisins and candied ginger. Lastly, add the melted butter. If you try to add it before this point, the cold milk will cause it to solidify again. Then mix everything all together well and put it into a greased 9x9 pan and bake at 350 degrees. I like glass pans, but they take longer to bake. For me, this pan takes 48 minutes. Your mileage may vary depending upon your oven and pans, but I would check the bake at about 40 minutes. Check for doneness with a toothpick or a knife. When they come out clean, the bake is done. I don't know about you, but when I take something like this out of the oven, I want to cut into it and eat it right away because it smells so good. And you can do this, but without a few minutes to set up, the edges of your cut piece will be a little ragged. Like this one, which was taken out of the pan as soon as the baking was done. This piece was cut the next morning and is a little tidier. For us, this is about an 8-serving recipe. Those are 8 generous servings, though. Oatmeal is a very filling food, and you may find that a smaller piece is just fine for you. This oatmeal bake is great for breakfast, but feels sweet enough for a dessert treat, too. It would be a wonderful, healthy snack for after school, and your kids would feel like they're getting away with eating cake instead of the oatmeal and fruit we know are in it. I haven't tried freezing it yet, but I suspect individually wrapped pieces would be great for lunch boxes or last-minute portable breakfasts. If you make this recipe, please leave a comment below and let me know what you changed up and how it turned out. And if you want to find out how I get food for half price, click on the Flash Foods link below. Flash Foods is an app that allows customers to buy foods about to expire at a reduced price. This service isn't available everywhere yet, but if it is in your area, you will get $5 off your first order, and I will get $5 off my next order. I've been using this app for over a year and have saved hundreds of dollars on groceries. Please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and watch our other videos for more inspiration, because eating is required.